Hello. This is Seth Perry, and it's another Monday night live stream, the recovery meme review. And if you are watching right now, make sure to drop a question into the chat, and let's get things. We're gonna do right after I pull the video off the screen. So just a moment. Here I am. So welcome. I'm Seth Perry. I'm a pastor. I'm also in recovery from addiction. And I'm really happy to be here tonight. We've got some wonderful memes. And for anyone watching, why don't you drop a question or anything in the chat? Right now, you could drop your clean date in the chat and I'll give you a sober shout out. So also tonight's question for the chat, do you take yourself too seriously in your sobriety? That's a good question. That question will be coming back up and down, all around on the chat. So drop something in the chat below if you have an answer for the question. And it's really good to be here tonight. And just a reminder, don't forget to subscribe to Seth Perry on YouTube and click the notification bell. That way you can always be notified when we do a recovery meme review live stream. It is really, really hot here today. But I said, whatever, I don't care how hot it is. I guess we'll go forward and do this. And it's a good night. So we do this every Monday night at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure to comment below with your clean date, and I might shout you out. And so just read the ticker, and we'll get into the meme review right now. So basically, how this works is I put a meme up on the screen. I talk about it for a little while, and then I review it with a GIF. That sounds like fun, doesn't it, folks? I certainly think so. And so we'll start with our first meme in a moment. I have a lot of people to thank as well. A lot of people think, like I do think, I have to thank the Sober Crew Facebook page. For always letting me post our videos onto their page every week. So a big shout out to Nate and the Sober Crew, and if you're not a part of the Sober Crew, join the Sober Crew, and if you are, make sure you invite people. 17,000 people have joined that group so far, so continue to grow that community by inviting your friends. So without any further ado, why don't we just move on to our first meme? You saw it up on the screen already. This meme's got a rat smoking a cigarette. That's definitely photoshopped, isn't it? I'd like to think maybe that rats do smoke cigarettes. Is that possible? It could be. Very well could be. And so the rat is I love it. I love that the rat is saying, so the nightmare begins again. So let's go top to bottom on this meme. Me wakes up, rat saying, so the nightmare begins again. Yes, absolutely. What does this have to say about recovery? Well, you ever feel like you're caught in Groundhog Day in recovery? Do you ever feel like things are just repeating themselves over and over again? It's the same stuff, different day. In early recovery, I felt like I was in Groundhog Day. I'd wake up, I'd get on the bus, I'd see the same people, I'd get off at the same stop, and the same people would get off at the same stop. I'd walk by the same person as I walked up to get a coffee. Then I'd go into work. The same people working in the same spot. Life was monotonous. So I guess that this was posted in a sobriety and recovery message board. This was posted in a sobriety and recovery Facebook group. You know what's interesting about this? This could be mentioning two things. This could be mentioning two very different things. This could be mentioning what it's like, how monotonous life is in addiction, in active addiction. Like this could be talking about how troubling and challenging life is in active addiction. It could talk about how repetitive life is in active addiction. But then on the other side of things, you get clean and then life is monotonous in a different way. So this meme goes two ways. Before I got clean, life was monotonous. I'd get up, I'd use, I'd repeat next day. But then when I got sober, I'd get up and it would be the same old grind every day. So this is kind of referencing for me, it's bringing up both addiction and recovery. Addiction can be a thankless grind. It can be an awful grind, and recovery. It can be a monotonous Groundhog Day type experience. So I think that that's pretty interesting. And before I rate this, I just want to make sure that anyone who's watching right now, remember there's tonight's question for the chat. Do you take yourself too seriously in sobriety? And also, you can drop your sober date, and I'll give you a shout out on the air. Don't forget to do that. So and I chose this. I chose this meme because I thought that this meme was pretty cool. I thought that this meme talked about my life before and after. And so it's a solid meme. You can't knock it. It's simple. I like simple memes. I always like simple memes. When I see an addiction recovery meme that has a block of text and I got to sit and I got to read and I got to look at it and it's super blurry and the text isn't clear, I just go, no, thank you. If it's an inspirational message that's been copy and pasted in different formats with different backgrounds of sunsets, I say, not for me. When I see garbage like that, I say that's better for a tea towel. That's not going to be on the wall of a message board that I frequent on the internet. Put that on a tea towel. Now this is certainly perfect. I mean, they found the perfect picture of a rat that had its hand up so they could Photoshop in that nice cigarette. Excellent attention to detail. This encapsulates two things: recovery and addiction, the grind, the repetition. And in recovery, I got to fight hard to find the gratitude in the repetitive day to day, day in, day out, maintaining my sobriety and recovery. So what does this get for a rating? Well, for my rating is, I'm going to give it Lindsay Lohan shouting up to the sky. The struggle is real. That is late stage Lindsay Lohan, as you can see. That is Lindsay Lohan probably partying up in Ibiza. That is Lindsay Lohan well into her 30s, we'll say. Definitely. And why do I say the struggle is real? Well, I think that this taps in to something that is incredibly true and real in my own recovery. This is totally, absolutely relevant to my own recovery. So even at 11 years, I'm grinding it out. Day in, day out. It can be repetitive, and I got to find something that's enjoyable. So the struggle is real, most certainly. Thank you for that sewer rat for helping me see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much. Now, this is a meme mainly because it's a Twitter post that has just been passed around, and I've seen it on Facebook pages all over the internet, all those recovery Facebook pages. I've seen this a few times over the last few weeks. So I like this one. I think that it's admirable, definitely. And I think that there's a ton of truth to this. Again, this is pretty simple. It is, this borderlines on, is this a meme or is this just a viral tweet? But heck, this is a recovery meme review. It's mimetic because a lot of people have seen it. So Whale at Whale posted, the concept of alcohol is actually crazy. I'm going to drink something that doesn't taste good so I can feel good for a little bit, only to feel worse later. Crying, laughing emoji. So, yes, when you think about it, when you think about it, when you think about the just the logistics of being addicted to alcohol, it never makes sense. The first time I tried alcohol, it didn't taste good. Did it ever taste good? No, I don't think it ever tasted good. So yeah, that's what I gotta say. Did any drugs feel good to me? You know what? No, no, they didn't. I certainly glorified them, but they were, you know, there's certain feelings. Ultimately, it doesn't really feel good. I have not smoked marijuana for 11 years, and over 11 years. It always gave me anxiety and it always made me paranoid, but I still ended up going back to it. I haven't had a drink of alcohol for over 11 years. It would make me sick. I would drink until I was sick, but I kept going back to it. I haven't used any other mind or mood altering substance. And when I would use them, I would be like, am I dying? I'm taking my pulse. Am I dying? Am I dying? I'm taking my pulse. It never makes sense. It really doesn't. Addiction does not make sense when you think about it. So alcohol tastes gross. And I like the little part here. So I can feel good for a little bit. That's true, really. That really is true for me about all drugs. Everything that I've been ended up ever being addicted to. I feel okay for a little bit. It's a temporary feeling. And you feel worse later. What are the ways that I felt worse? One of them is physical. There's certainly the financial. So those are two things. There's the mental side. You definitely don't feel good mentally afterwards. Brutal. Yeah. It makes no sense on paper. But some people are just predisposed, in my belief, predisposed to addiction. And so you just keep going back, keep going back, keep going back to the same thing that hurts you and makes you feel sick. You just keep using over and over and over again. Makes no sense. But because something in my brain made me keep going back to it, I just kept doing it. So again, the concept of alcohol is actually crazy. I'm going to drink something that doesn't taste good so I can feel good for a little bit, only to feel worse later. Crying, laughing emoji. Solid meme. If we could even call it a meme, like I said. Solid, 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 solid all the way. So this meme, I am going to give it a Bill Nye the Science Guy. Why? I give it Bill Nye the Science Guy because this is dropping some major science. Absolutely. This is telling us something that is absolutely true about addiction. You keep going back to something that hurts you over and over and over again. It makes no sense for you to do that, but you keep going back. I like it. Very, very good. All right, so we're going to move on to our next. All righty, here we go. I need a little bit of water. It is hot. It is hot. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to the show. We're going to be going through memes tonight, reviewing them. And hey, you know what? why don't you drop a comment? Absolutely. Something in the chat, you could be saying, hey, do you take yourself too seriously in your sobriety? Hey, if you do, why don't you answer that question? If you don't, you could also say, no, I don't, and let me know why. Another thing that you could do is let me know how much clean time you have. Or if you're not a day counter, just let me know where you're at in recovery. So drop something in the comments and we'll give you a shout out. Definitely could give you a sober shout out. I will interrupt any meme that I'm in the middle of reviewing just to shout you out. So thanks for tuning in for who's tuned in right now. All right. So this meme, we got a Buddhist monk. We got a Buddhist monk walking down a path that is cast with golden sunshine. When your past calls, don't answer it. It has nothing new to say. Okay, this is a straight up controversial recovery meme. Why? Because this may be good advice. This also may be horrible advice. When your past calls, don't answer it. It has nothing new to say. Well, you got to be able to take this both ways, right? Sometimes my past has some really valuable stuff to teach me, and I may have not thought about it or investigated it. On the other hand, I can't just keep rehashing the past. I can't keep going back to harmful relationships. You know, there's some stuff in the past that needs to be left alone, but there's some stuff that I think that I have really found a lot of value in uncovering. When I got sober, one thing that really helped me was working with counselors and just digging through all of my shame. Super important. I think that's one of the most important things that someone could do in recovery. Dig through the things that you're ashamed of. You got to look through your past with new eyes now that you're sober, right? Now, on the other hand, you may not want to get caught up in all of your past resentments, all the past hang-ups. You know, I resented my family a lot when I got sober. 11 years ago when I got sober, I had to go through a process of letting go, of just saying, you know what? They may have wronged me a little bit here or there, like everyone does in relationships and especially in family. But for myself, the best thing to do was just to say, you know what? It's time to move on. It's time to grow. It's time to forgive anything. You know, I was still holding on to beefs that I had from when I was in elementary school. And I had that with everyone in my family. You know, I had a laundry list. I had a laundry list of resentments that I had to clear through, that I had to slowly work my way through. So when I look at this meme and it says, when your past calls, don't answer it. It has nothing new to say. I can say, yes, if that past is bringing up some horrible memories, some trauma, you're going to have to learn how to deal with that. Yes. On the other hand, your past can teach you some valuable lessons. So maybe it's time to investigate that with the right people. Who would I investigate it with? Professionals, with counselors, with spiritual care practitioners, with psychiatrists, with psychologists. Those are the people, and with a support group. You know, with people that are solid support group. I wouldn't investigate my past with my using buddies. I think that maybe it's time to have a new perspective, because when I came into recovery, my using buddies were pretty much the people that I talked to about my shit, and they were the people that I talked to about the stuff that the resentments that I had, and it was just kind of like a broken record, just playing the same tune over and over again on repeat. Okay, so it's time to rate this meme. And like I said, some of this meme is good, some of this meme is bad, which is why I give it Scarlett Johansson saying 50%. That's right, 50%. Thank you, Scarlett Johansson, for helping me rate this meme, because 50% is absolutely the value that I would give this meme. I really appreciate that. Well, the gift don't lie, as I say. So thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Absolutely. So here we are, folks. We are live on YouTube. I got to remind you guys, don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube and hit the notification bell. Please do support the channel if you'd like. And also, tonight's question for the chat. Why don't you just type in something in the chat? The question for the chat is, do you take yourself too seriously in your sobriety? That's a great thing to consider. And just a reminder that I am just a guy in recovery. I'm also a pastor, but I am not a professional. This is not medical advice. This is an editorial. I review memes. I have fun. And I try to keep the memes pretty much above board and family friendly. So, yeah, looking forward to any of you commenting. Do you have a meme that I want to review? You can always drop the link to that meme and I will share my screen and look at it live if that meme is appropriate. Yeah, let's move on to our next meme, shall we? This meme it's pretty cool because I got it sent to me in a private message, and then I'll reveal who DM'd me. This is funny. Okay, so this isn't necessarily a recovery meme, but I guess it is a spiritual related meme, but it's pretty interesting. Okay, I gotta tell you, I was surprised when I got this. I wouldn't have thought that this person would have sent it to me. My dad sent me this meme. My dad sent me this meme. I thought it was hilarious that my dad sent me this meme. So God is saying, hey, hey, Ezekiel. Blah, 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 blah. God says, hey, Ezekiel, you didn't eat that whole bag of shrooms, did you? And Ezekiel's saying, as he's having this massive vision that he is in Ezekiel 1. Yes, Ezekiel had a massive vision in Ezekiel 1. He saw something in the sky. He saw a chariot. He saw a wheel. He saw all this crazy stuff. So, all right. Woo, it is hot today. So when my dad sent me this, I was like, Dad, you're 75. You know about shrooms? So definitely. I mean, when you think about some of the stuff in the Bible and the visions and all that, they seem like hallucinations. And people have been hallucinating for, millennia. It's nothing new, right? I'm not saying that whoever wrote the book of Ezekiel was hallucinating by using some substance of any sort, because you can hallucinate for all sorts of different reasons. You can hallucinate because you're fasting. You can hallucinate because of heat. You can hallucinate through all different types of sensory deprivation, all these types of things that people would do in the asceticism of the time and of which the Bible was written, where people would spend a lot of time alone. You spend enough time alone, I'm sure you're going to start seeing things. So, I mean, I had to share this because I was surprised that my dad would send me this. I mean, I think he knows that I do. I review memes. He also goes to church, and I'm a pastor, and so to have addiction and my career and my dad all kind of mixed together in one, I was just like, what? It's just sometimes your dad surprises you, and a welcome surprise. I thought this meme was just absolutely hilarious. Why? I think it's like the combination of magic mushrooms and an etching. Like etchings are so elegant. Etchings are something that you see in books, and you just think it's fine art. It's such a But I mean. There's two things that this could be. This could be a scene from the Bible, and this could be a mushroom trip. It really could. So, I got to say, This is a solid meme. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. Absolutely. This meme's so solid. Definitely. I like it so much that, you know what? This meme is getting a very high rating. And I don't use the term high loosely. It is getting a Mr. Miyagi meme. Absolutely. I had to give it the rating of Mr. Miyagi because this meme is so solid. Mr. Miyagi nodding, yes. It needs that. Immediately, I was like, what am I going to give this meme? I need to give this meme Stan Morita, giving the old, yes, Daniel, I'm very proud of you. So solid meme all around. Love the etching. Love the beautiful text that was put on top. Very solid. I like. Very good. All right, it's time for a thank you, and I got to thank these guys all day long. The Sober Crew Facebook page, they let me post there. They helped me grow the channel. I believe this is I don't know if my 3rd or 4th week doing my Monday night live stream, and people come in and out, and I'm pretty happy with the amount of engagement that people have, and I owe that a lot to the Sober Crew for helping me out and allowing me to post on their page, help me grow the channel. If you're a member of the Sober Crew or you join the Sober Crew, make sure you hit the green invite button and invite your friends. 17,000 members on the Sober Crew page, and growing ever more so every day. So excellent. And just a reminder, folks, that this show, I love doing the show, and if you aren't subscribed, look up there at the top. It's saying remember to subscribe to my channel on Facebook. Also, I do have a question for tonight's chat. Tonight's question: do you take yourself seriously in your sobriety? Or you can also just pop in your clean date. Let me know something about your recovery. Go ahead. Go ahead, make my day. I need this water so much. Gosh, it's hot. I mean, it's hot and humid here. I know it's really extremely hot on the West Coast, but it's hot and humid here. So we're moving on with our next meme for tonight. I like this meme. Okay, so house manager, you can't smoke cigarettes in the bathroom. Me, you're going to love me or you're going to hate me, but I'm going to be me. Oh, and this is by at the Sober Bitch on Instagram. Thank you, at the Sober Bitch. So let's give a little bit of context to this. This meme is discussing the intricate balance of a sober house. Hey, were you ever in a sober house? Do you know what sober living is? Any thoughts on sober living? Drop a comment in the chat below. Let me know about living in recovery houses or sober houses. I'd love to hear your story. So this is perfect. I think this meme's hilarious. Because here's the context. When you live in a sober house, you get all sorts of things. You get interesting sexual relationships that happen that may be against the rules. You get people breaking very simple rules, like there's often a curfew. You get people sometimes challenging very minor rules, like that you've got to clean up, or people have chores. Sober houses and recovery houses are full of drama. When you stick 6 people that have just gotten out of rehab, or who have just gone through a short program, or maybe are returning from a relapse, you put them all in a house, there's going to be some drama. I lived in a sober house for a while, and then I was captain recovery. I wanted to be the best at being sober, and so I managed a sober house. I was a guy that was so gung-ho about recovery. Man, I was insufferable. I was insufferable. I was hard to be around. That was when I was about a year and a half, 2 years in, because I was just cringe worthy all the way, 100% cringe worthy, absolutely. So, when the house manager, there's often someone who is either the owner of the house, or you can delegate someone who lives in the house to be the house manager, saying you can't smoke cigarettes in the bathroom. And this typifies the response of some people, the entitled folk, or sometimes there's people that just say, I'm sober and I'm just, I got to be straight up, I'm sober now, so I got to be honest. Okay. So this is how I'm going to be honest. You're going to love me, you're going to hate me, but I'm going to be me, and I got to be honest. That's how it's going to be. You get a lot of behavior like that sometimes. Yo, bro, I just got to be straight up. Okay. So when you tell me that you know, that I can't leave my pizza out on the counter, I like it like that. You understand? I like to have my pizza out on the counter when you wake up in the morning. Okay. Sometimes I come in here, it'll be like 11:30 in the morning. When I wake up, I want to have my cold pizza. I put two pizzas on top of each other. I got to be real. I got to be real with you. I want my pizza sandwich first thing in the morning. I don't know if you know how good it is to have a pizza sandwich. Something like that. I don't know. I'm just making that shit up, but I think it's somewhat believable. So that's just how it used to be when I was in a sober house. There was drama over everything. And I mean, we had people shooting fireworks out the window of their we had people shooting fireworks out the window of their bedrooms, pissing off the neighbors. We had someone completely ruin the floor, and they were just like, look, I'm sober now. I need to be creative. And we're like, you ruined your floor. I know, but I was painting in there. I was doing my paintings. I got a bunch of canvases from the dollar store. And I'm like, there's paint all over the floor. And now the people who own the house have to replace the floor. Those types of arguments, the drama that happens in sober houses, it is unique. It is 100% unique. I love it. I absolutely love it. So you're going to love me, you're going to hate me, but I'm going to be me. Absolutely. Sometimes that's the attitude when there is a power dynamic or a power struggle or whatever happening in a sober house. And I love it. This is perfect. This typifies what a sober house is. And that's why I'm going to rate this Shere Khan giving it the nod. Absolutely. If Shere Khan gives it the nod, then you know that there's truth there. You know that it's got to be true. Absolutely. This is great. Excellent, excellent, excellent meme. All right, moving on to our next meme. Okay, I've seen this meme in many different forms in and around recovery forums, and I think it's pretty good. That's delicious. That's just delightful. Delightful soda water. All right. You got a big equation up on the page, and the guy's saying, actual photo of me explaining to my friends why I can't just have one drink. Actual photo of me explaining to my friends why I can't have just one drink. It is a complicated discussion sometimes when you're talking to people, especially when you're young in recovery. I've experienced this when I've been out at conferences. I've experienced this when I've been around people that I play sports with. And sometimes people don't understand. It is kind of complicated. You know what? It might have been difficult 10 years ago, but the conversation really has changed for a lot of people. It really has. I think that now people say, I got a problem with addiction. I can't just have one drink. So yeah, if people are, if it's this hard to explain it to someone, if it's this hard to explain to someone that you can't have one drink, then maybe you're not hanging around with the right people. And that's a tough thing to say. But sometimes to protect your own sobriety, to protect your own recovery, you need to figure out hanging around people that are supportive. Sometimes to protect your own sobriety, you need to hang out with people that are supportive. That's important. That's a super important thing. This kind of makes me think about my early recovery. And there are people that really didn't know me that didn't get it. But then there are other people that got it. And the people that get it, I think that maybe those are the people that I hung around with the most. So I think the real difficult thing is this might be challenging. Who are you supposed to hang out with in early recovery? And that's a tough decision that has to be made by each individual. Yeah. Has to be made by, that's the key. There's no magic bullet in recovery. There's not one solution that's going to be made, you know, there's not one solution that's going to work for everybody. It isn't like mathematics. You know, it's just, you need to be able to, I think that what I see in recovery right now is people are waking up to the reality that individual solutions are more important than ever in recovery. Sometimes people need to be around certain people. Sometimes people are dependents of certain people. Sometimes there is no choice but to be around people that might have. Sometimes there's no choice but to be around people that you have to have this, conversation with. Sometimes you have to be around the people to have this difficult conversation. Sometimes you have to explain this to people that you spend time with every day. Yeah. So I think it's a solid meme. I think it's reductive. It captures something that's true, but it doesn't fit everyone's recovery by all means, which is why I say good work on this meme. There's some truth to it. And that's why I give it a tip to the hat. Yes, this meme will be given a tip to the hat because it is solid enough to be given a good review. Tipping intensifies. All right. Here's one that's just plain text. And most of the time when I see a meme that's just plain text, I think, here we go again. This is something that will be incredibly simple. Here's something that might be an oversimplification. That's what I think. When I see a meme that is all caps on white background, I think this is going to be a major oversimplification. So let's see what it says. Eventually, every addict has their last high. Those of us that got clean get to talk about ours. Okay. So one thing about this meme is it doesn't take into account harm reduction. I just want to say that. Another thing about this meme is that it is, saying that you have two choices, getting clean and not getting clean. Yeah, this meme doesn't fit everyone's recovery. This is another one just like that. And I would say I don't ever want to come from a place where I'm super egotistical or arrogant about the fact that I quit and I haven't been high for 11 years. Because some people get high off of some people stop using one substance. So some people will say, I'm done using that one substance, but I still use another substance that I deem to be less harmful. So I want to think about them as well. So I do think that this is an oversimplification. I've chosen to be clean. I've chosen to be clean from all minor mood altering chemicals. That doesn't make me better than everyone else. Doesn't mean that I get the privilege to talk about my last high, because someone who just stopped using, opiates does get the pleasure of talking about their last high, even though they might have the occasional drink of wine. That is a harm reduction model. I do complete abstinence. It doesn't make me better than other people. So eventually every addict has their last high. Those of us that got clean get to talk about ours. This is, reading between the lines, this is talking a little bit about how fatal addiction is. So I like to be pretty careful. I like to be pretty careful in the messaging that I have when I'm talking about the fatal aspect of addiction. I like to tread lightly. So there's that. So what am I going to give this meme? I'm going to give this meme a sad Pikachu, because it's sad. The reality of it is sad. It's not for everybody. So this gets the sad Pikachu. That's right. Sorry, Pikachu. Yeah. It's sad because it's inferring that, some people will die from addiction, and that is sad. Yeah. Absolutely. So there we have it. All righty. Okay, I'm going to do one last meme before I sign off. It's been a good this has been a good broadcast. I'm really glad that you were able to join me. Thank you. Here we go with the last meme. What gives people feelings of power? What gives people... Let's just do this so I can get a good... Let's get that microphone right up there. That's right. What gives people feelings of power, money, status, doing voluntary work at the rehab you went to? Oh my goodness, is this ever the truth? For me, when I returned to the rehab that I went to and I started helping out after I had been out for about 3 months, oh, did I ever think that I was cool? Did I ever think that I was knowledgeable? Did I ever think that I had so much wisdom? Did I? Probably not. When I think back to it, I knew a little bit, but I think that I also had a lot of issues to work on. And that's the whole thing. When you get clean, it doesn't mean that you figured everything out. It means that you still need work to be done on you. Yes, absolutely. I still had a ton of work to work on. I still had a ton of stuff to work on. I worked on that for the first 5 years I was clean. The basic stuff. The very basic stuff. Yeah. So when I look at this, like the feelings of power that they're talking about up there, you can get high off of that. Yeah, you can feel like you're some sort of amazing dude. Absolutely. You think that you're the shit. Doing voluntary work at the rehab you work at. Doing voluntary work at the rehab you went to can give you a huge ego. Absolutely. And I lost sight of the real important things, which were, learning how to live the day-to-day stuff. Absolutely. I was drunk off my own power. I was sober. I hadn't used any minor mood altering substances, but I was drunk off my own power because I'd be like, listen up. 6.5 months ago, I was looking Listen up. 6.5 months ago, my life was in the toilet. I was using every day, you know, and in these past 6.5 months, do you know what I've learned? I've learned how to make my bed. Like, is that what you got? Is that? Because that's all I had, pretty much. I'd figured out a very basic way of living. My life's still chaotic. What can I say? So, what am I going to give this? I'm going to give it, I'm going to give this meme Fred Armisen saying, that's me. Absolutely. Because that's me. That was me. 100%. When I got clean, that was me. That was me. That was totally me. That was my life. Oh my goodness. That was me. So why do I give it Fred Armisen? Because that was me. That was absolutely me. 100%. That was me. Hey, yeah, guess what? That was me. That was me. All right, good. I guess I'm done goofing around. That was me. That was me. 100%. That was me. Oh yes, was that ever me? I want to thank you again for coming on the live stream every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and who knows? Maybe we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.